That is not good, though, is anxiety, stress, suffering, and cognitive problem. This brings the mind down. The moment you have this kind of a thought, your mind should move to the discernment. This is a thought, this is not me. Yes, you need not to forget. It is happening inside, but you have to bring it on the surface. And I must contemplate and pick up the practice. Yes, but before you pick up the practice, oh, is this a thought? Yes, this is a thought. This is not me. Okay, let me maintain my awareness. This is a thought, where the thought takes me to. So, what happens? You become aware, thought of anxiety goes away, and also the anxiety goes away. You have to reach to that state. It is a heightened state of awareness. You rightly wrote, but you have to experience that these instances of duality and conflict are clouds, and I'm the sky unaffected. Yes, I'm the sky. That sky is awareness. I become aware of the anxiety, I become aware of the pleasure, I become aware of the conflict, I become aware of the pain. Awareness is not affected. That awareness is nothing but the consciousness. Consciousness is not affected. The way this light, I may speak, I may not speak, I am present in the room and I am not present in the room, the light is not affected. You see, same way the awareness is not at all affected. That is what we have been learning, being carefree, observer and observe. Nothing is affected. Light is not affected. You empty the room, you remove the computer, you fill everything in this room, the light is not affected. What a great discovery our masters have done. That is the first thing. And the second thing, you again wrote very good. Why should I be nice? Yes, I should be nice because so that I can live in higher awareness. Simple answer. Because if I'm not nice, it means my mind has become a default mind. Unauthorized occupants have taken in. So I have to be nice. We realize that we are intimately connected to all other beings on the earth. That is another answer. Being nice to someone else is like the left hand helping out the right hand. Yes, you have to become aware that if someone is not nice to me, I still remain at the state of being nice. Why? So that I do not borrow their anxiety, their reaction in me. I do not convert the event into an incident. And you will find out that throughout the day, you remain full of energy, calmness, and peace. Your energy level never goes down if you are nice to every event. Every event. Event does not turn out to be an incident. And you rightly said that is one of the greatest principles. Even my master, more than 50 years, he died in 80 at the age of 89, yeah. At the age of 35, 36, he got enlightenment, and since then, he used to serve people. We used to donate lot of money, and yes, he was maintaining his livelihood with that in a monastery. But every month we used to host uh, the donation drive. We used to invite more than 300 monks in the Himalayas, and we all used to gather and we used to serve food. And my master used to point out, look at these 50 monks, masters, you have to serve them. The, the service, you do the service and you will evolve yourself. Until the last point, even after his death, we still contribute to that monastery and some part of your money also going there. So it's a chain. So it means here that money is also helping you, not only helping me. So that chain is created 50 years, and every year at the end of the year, 29, 30, and 31st of December, even now, minimum 500 monks and people gather. 3 days we used to serve the food, we used to give them the clothes, and at least to the monks for 3 months of sustenance in the Himalayas, or maybe 6 months, depending on the money in donation. So there are many masters, unknown masters living, and they are just doing, they are giving. It's very challenging. I say, for example, I have $1,000. To spare even $100 is very difficult to spare, to donate, to charity, but with an intention that I am not helping, but I am serving the same existence. I'm also part of the existence, you are also part of the existence. We serve. Another point is very important. We don't have money, it doesn't mean that we cannot serve. We can serve physically, we can serve mentally, we can serve emotionally. I should tell you my story. 84, 85. I did not have the money. So I have only Indian rupees, 5 rupees. 5 rupees means how much? Maybe 10 cents. So I was very shy and I used to put those 5 rupees into the pocket of my master, because I said, if I'm exposed that I'm donating that little cents. But that worked. After many years, my master says, it is your attitude. It is not what you offer to the people. Your attitude. So, you see, it is your mind. How your mind works. You have written it. You need to contemplate again, and that's why I'm picking up those things, helping others, about aligning with the deeper reality. Compassion and selfishness are natural expressions of our, not only of our unity, but it helps you to reach to the heightened state of awareness, and it ultimately helps you to awaken and realize. Look at the Eastern wisdom. It explains each and everything logically. It's not. Normally, Bill Gates has already donated $160 billion. But with what attitude? That helps. So if your attitude is right, that, I'm not helping anyone, but I'm sparing for the sake of their same existence. That works very well. Yes, speech, thought, speech, and action are the 3 pointers of action. So every time I think and I speak and I act, whether it is coming from my past impression or whether it comes out from the discerning mind, it helps. It helps. It helps by giving you the lesson. I always have an intention that my master is manifesting in all my students. Why? my master is checking whether you have learned these principles rightly or not. So it means, how can I criticize or react or insult any of my students? I take them as a little above than me. Oh, you are a manifestation of my master. So, that changes your attitude. So, it's all about changing, transforming your mind. Yes, you rightly said, and that is what I started in the very beginning. When the mind goes down, I must redirect it towards a practice or contemplation. Yes, whether you redirect it, but just become aware. What is the thought? What is the feeling? And this thought and a feeling is observed, not an observer. I'm an observer. I'm a knower. I'm a seer. I'm none of my experiences. None of my experiences. So once you are focused there, and then you follow any practice that we have been doing. Discernment dissolves attachment. Yes, you have to remember all the time, discernment dissolves attachment. Discernment means you're separated. The thought, feeling, motion, sensations. Now, at this age of 60, how much, 60, maybe 67, 68, you have some time in the morning you feel the tiredness, and I say, no, it is not me. And then I start doing the practice, it goes away. And throughout the day, I feel the same level of energy. So it gives you some glimpses that yes, we are moving ahead in a right direction. When we watch a sad movie at default, we might start crying. With further analysis, we realize the movie was not real. It was yes. You have to see. That is how the existence plays the drama every day in our life. You feel tired. You feel stressed. Oh, that's a good drama existence. You are playing with me, but I'm not getting defeated. I will not be defeated. This is the experience, and I'm different from it. First, you do that, and then you take the right, proper care. What needs to be done? Yes, another way to understand awakening is that you don't go back to the same level of the stress. You don't suffer actually, but it does not mean that the world of events related to the body will not take place. It does not, after awakening, it does not mean that you will not have a gray hair as you grow older. Body. Why? Because I'm not the body. I have a constant awareness that I'm not the body, I'm the pure consciousness. One day the body falls. Jesus fell down, Buddha fell down, all the great masters have to leave their body. But now you leave the body consciously. There is no fear, there is no stress, there is no suffering. Perhaps that level of contemplation resulted, that is why you wrote, "This week was good." This week was good means you did the practice, your experiences were good, and you separated all your experiences and events. You did not allow the event to turn into an incident. That means when we move to the higher awareness, that higher awareness remains untouched by whatever is happening in the body, mind, intellect, past impression. Let the past impression come, prarabdha come, and you remain unaffected. This is a great miracle rather than thinking of a miracle that you read the mind of others. What will happen if you read the mind of others? People think in a different way. There is a one girl who, here in Arizona, she walks on fire. What will happen? You still continue to suffer. You are still living in ignorance. You are still directed by these uh, these small miracles. Awakened. I was able to recognize and redirect the mind when it wanders to my symptoms. Yes, wonderful point that you have written, and it has come from within you, discerning mind. My mood has been better because of it. You have written, I will remind you again and again. Whenever you write to me that, this week is not good. Why it is not good? Because of your experiences. Why you did not redirect your mind by the discernment, by the practice? I am also noticing more separation from the body during the day. Yes, that is also wonderful. Internal separation, it is not the physical separation. It is not the physical separation, mental separation. Is the sky blue? No. So it's basically a cognitive separation. I still see the sky is blue. But the knowledge inside, the insight, discernment is there, the sky is not blue. You see? So, that is what understanding is. That is what the awareness is. That is how we separate our mental consciousness with the higher consciousness. The mental consciousness still goes through the sense organ. It says, no, the sky is blue. No, the sky is never blue. Scientifically proven. Sand in the light causes the mirage water, and I'm living in a desert state. So when I see that, oh, cognitive understanding. So that separation is taking place in my head. The same way the separation is taking place in my head that I'm not the body, I'm not the mind, I'm not the intellect, I'm not the ego. So what happens? Now I identify with the higher consciousness. That higher consciousness is not ill, not sick, not it is not stressed. It does not fall into anxiety and duality. That is wonderful. I appreciate. Don't leave it. Continue. You are relaxed. You are calm. You are wise. You are in peace. In that state, you can do your study much faster, which used to take 3 hours. It will take hardly 1 hour because clarity is there. Don't leave the practice. Let us see another way. Let us deepen the practice, the same practice. Now close your eyes. Ground the body. I'm changing the name first, that you ground the body. How you ground the body? Place position and posture. I think you have started understanding the metaphors, so I'll add a couple of metaphors also, so that any metaphor clicks to you, your mind would be a good opportunity. So ground the body is the first step. So you are just aware of the place of the body, the place where your body is sitting, position, and posture, like fixing a lamp on a steady stand. Pay attention. You are fixing a lamp on a steady stand so that the flame does not flicker with every breeze. That is the first step. We ground the body. The body is steadied, so awareness can shine without constant disturbance. Because anytime we get associated with the body And then what happens? That flame of awareness flickers. What is this? This means I'm shifting the default mind to a contemplative, discerning mind by using the body, its place and posture as a deliberate pattern, break, and anchor. I read what you have written and then I said, no, let me change. Advance the same practice so that you can deeper. You are choosing a stable place, position, and posture that can be held with ease for until the meditation. Yes, and gradually we will also advance when you align the spine and relaxing muscles so that your breath, your energy pattern also aligns with the body and the mind. That is what is the first step. And we already know that we have to choose a relatively uncluttered place, either sitting on a chair or a cushion or a stand with the feet grounded. And in the advanced phase, we gently lengthen the spine and we allow the shoulders to soften, jaw to unclench, and hands are resting easily. Why we are doing it, I gave you the answer in a metaphor like fixing a lamp on a steady stand so that the flame does not flicker. So, we are studying a medical science. I can say it's a practical somatic switch from scatteredness to presence. It is a somatic switching. Initial trust that inner work can begin with very accessible physical adjustment of place, position, and posture. That is the essence of the practice of asanas or posture. You need not to practice millions of asanas. Consciously you adjust your body, put into the place, position, and posture, and that brings the result. And what we do in the second step, you already know being comfortable. So I'm just saying that being comfortable is nothing but you are entering the field of the body. Field. How you enter the field of the body? By experiencing the sensation, comfort, and steadiness. The first at the surface level we did it, and the second step is entering the field of the body. Or it is a subtle pilgrimage through the bodily sensation. I'm using the different phrases to help your mind to grasp it. Oh, it's a pilgrimage. Imagine slowly walking through a garden, noticing sunlight, breeze, fragrance without trying to change anything. The body is that garden. In that place, position, and posture, your mind strolls through the sensations with a gentle awareness. So you have a different sensation on the face, on the shoulder, different parts of the body, and you are walking through the body and experiencing that sensation from the top to the toes. Sometime, somewhere, some part of the body we only feel the warmth, other parts coolness, tingling, presence, or emptiness. Oh, that's good. So we are exploring that awareness through the bodily sensations. Why we are doing this? That anchors attention in the present. But there is another benefit. It reduces the identification with the thought pattern. I'm just communicating as if I'm talking to you and you're entering into the practice. There is another way, and I'm just telling you. So when you move the mind from the top of the head to the toes, so you may find one type of sensation on the scalp, second on the forehead, third on the eyes, then the jaw, neck, shoulder, arms, chest, belly, back, hips, legs, feet. So you will find out that is how we recognize that this body contains two lower and upper extremities and nose. The sensation. That is how we cognize with the sensation. So that in that way we go deeper. But in the entire step 2, we emphasize non-judgment and patience. Non-judgment and patience, and once it becomes the mental habit, you will enjoy. Sensation is simpler than the story and easier to stay with it. You can gently guide your mind from hesitation to a more neutral, grounded presence in your daily activities. So it is not only a practice. So you just, and what is the way to do it? Just you scan, move the mind on the skin of the body from the top to the toes repeatedly, couple of times, and every time you experience differentiating the sensation from one part of the body to the other. So the mind or the intellect asks the question, what if I feel more anxiety when I move the mind on the skin of the body? Notice the anxiety sensation as just another pattern. Tightness, heat, fluttering, without labeling them as me or bad. This is the part of the training. So what will happen? You avoid the distraction. This practice moves closer with clarity and curiosity, building capacity, not an escape. This is what you have done last week. And now the third step you already know, being carefree. So how do I define carefree? You step back into the sky. The natural next move is to step back into the sky to recognize the observing awareness distinct from all the sensations and experience. A great and a very powerful step. Being carefree, I told you, separating observer and observed. Well, if your mind absorbs each and every metaphor and the steps we are doing today, 100%, you will be more absorbed. If not, you can move to the previous one. No worries. Thoughts and emotions are clouds. I'm using the metaphor. Awareness is the sky. When you are fused with the cloud, the whole world looks great. And when you recognize yourself as the sky, clouds come and go without defining you. Oh, yes, that is what we need to understand clearly. What I renamed it, the step back into the sky, being carefree. I am my thought and feeling, and replace it with I am the aware space in which experience arises. It will take you totally into a different direction. Just watch, be aware of the sensations, and anytime any sensation, this is a sensation, separate and different from me. Itself, that becomes a great practice, and you will find out, oh, it is so easy to do it. It is a play and a fun. Yes, it should become a play and a fun. Then, then you are aware of the sensation. You recognize consciously these are experiences. I am the one aware of them, and they both are separate. Or you label the thought and a feeling as phenomena. Oh, this is the thought of anxiety, this is the thought of tingling, this is the feeling of tingling, that's all. Sometime in one particular part of the body, sensation is arising, and your mind quietly says, oh, sensation is arising. I am the awareness noticing it. Or you can say, I am the observer noticing it. When a thought appears, thinking is happening. Here is a thought of fear, not me. Here is a thought of anxiety, not me. Here is a thought of pain, not me. So it means I am this or that. Means experience or experiencer. You have to use the language of experience versus experiencer without forcing any belief. Let experience be clouds, let awareness be the open sky. That is the discernment between the seer and the seen. And that leads to the heightened state of awareness. Thoughts or feelings are visitors. I am the host, not the guest. Carefreeness is not carelessness. It is freedom from being pushed around by every mental wave. Carefreeness, when I say the moment carefreeness, you are carefree. It is not carelessness. In carelessness, I'm anxiety, I'm thought, I'm feeling, I'm emotion, I'm pain. And carefreeness, you are already free from them. And sometime you have to pick up this step. That is the third step, being carefree. and contemplate and reflect. Ask your intellect to contemplate. Fear is arising or I am scared. Which one is true? Fear is rising and fear is falling. It will dissolve like the clouds. Or if I identify that I am scared, can I recall a moment when simply observing a feeling made it weaker or a shorter? Yes, the mind will create a doubt. What doubt? If I am the observer, do I ignore my emotions? No. You fully acknowledge them, but stop being them. This allows wiser response instead of automatic reaction. That is the key point. Does this make me detached or cold? No. It brings more compassion because you are less overwhelmed and more available in the presence. I'm answering your future doubts also. If I'm the observer, then do I ignore my emotions? No, I fully acknowledge them, but I stop being them. Oh my goodness, that is what we have to, that is a heightened state of awareness. Okay, that is the heightened state of awareness. I'm just trying to put the words into your mouth and your experience to help you to understand a little deeper. So, step back into the sky. That is what our carefree is. And then invoke the always present peace. Always invoke the present peace means what? Now, because the mind is ready to receive the input from inside you, not outside, not from the incident, but from. So, what is that? May there be peace for all. Sarvesham swastirvavatu. Sarvesham swastirvavatu. May there be happiness for all. We are educating the intellect and the nervous system that peace, happiness, and completeness are the true baseline. That is the purpose. That is what the Mangalacharan is. I'm taking deeper you into the Mangalacharan. Sometimes the jerks in the body also takes place. Let it happen. May there be peace for all. May there be peace for all. May there be peace for all. So it means you recognize. The step 4 is to recognize that peace is already there within me. Peace is already there within me. That is what, when we say Mangalacharan, it is a kind of invocation. And what is that? Invocation means what is already there. I am recognizing it. Okay. So that is why I am repeating. Oh, may there be wholeness in all. May there be wholeness in all. Completeness and wholeness means there is absence of anxiety, stress, and suffering. Okay. In that state, and we move further into the another step. I say educating the transformations of the mind. We return again to, we reframe thoughts. Every wave that rises on the lake is not a threat, but an opportunity to learn surfing. So each thought is not a verdict, but a practice material. So any thought, feeling, anxiety comes, oh, it's very good. I'm none of them. Meeting anxious or reactive thoughts with gratitude and clarity. Thank you, mind, for showing me this thought. This is not me. This is not me. This is not me. So that is how you, unwanted thoughts are teachers, not the enemies. And when you do this, what happens? The mind finds the sky, not the clouds. So, what is going to happen if you do this at once format? You will find out that, oh, it is so easy to live it consistently with a humility and a gratitude. And when you live into that state of gratitude, it is like tending a garden every day rather than occasionally rescuing the plants. This practice becomes ongoing cultivation, not emergency repair. So you can use here just as if you are using Om Shanti. You see the space, Om Shanti. You see the space, Om Shanti. You see. So your focus is on seeing the space. Say, for example, you see hundreds of birds are flying in the sky. Don't you recognize there is a space between them and we are aware of this space? That is how we know the hundreds of birds are flying. How can I know that hundreds of birds are flying without this space? Really? So I have a bird of anxiety, I have a bird of pleasure, I have a bird of duality, I have a bird of conflict. In between, there is a space where I drop Om Shanti and I am okay. I am fine. I'm okay. I am fine. That is the key to this journey, my friend. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Shanti, Shanti. Shanti. Bring your awareness on the right hand, your awareness on the left hand. Lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes, open the eyes inside the palms. Know your experiences and bring the hands down.
I don't know, I've fallen asleep a little bit.
It's okay.
It was okay. Yeah, I feel more relaxed.
Yes, I feel more relaxed. The 90-year-old woman, I told you she is still doing the practices with me. And she told in the afternoon, she had a session today, that, she told me it's a wonderful, that is a heightened state of awareness. She told me that, I was just falling into sleep. Before sleep, I felt as if I'm being lazy, unattentive. I paid attention to what you are saying and I returned from the sleep. She has been also doing since 2007, so at the age of the 90, no complaint, no blame. She is rising very high. So let me reinforce what we have done the practice. I have to remember, recall, remind, peace isn't something I achieve, it is already there. Peace is universal, anxiety is incidental and personal. That is what you have written, the rain. One feel cursed and one feel happy. One is dancing, another feeling cursed. So it becomes incidental. One is dancing, that is also incidental, and one feels cursed, that is also incidental. But rain is rain. Peace is universal. Behind the clouds of anxiety, duality, pleasure, conflict, we experience the calmness of the sky. Peace is the sky, not the cloud. Peace is the sky, not the clouds. It is a recognition. When I say may there be peace for all, we use the word invocation. So I define the invocation as a recognition that peace is already there. I recognize. I have yet to realize, but I recognize the peace is already there. Peace is your baseline, not a reward you earn. Anxiety and conflict are temporary visitors. They are not my identity. Practice is not creating peace, but noticing the sky behind the cloud, recognizing the peace behind the cloud. That leads you to a higher stair. Another way to put, you are not the storm, you are the sky that holds the storm. Storm is anxiety, duality, conflict, pain, suffering. The sky that holds the storm. So it means I'm shifting my identity from cloud to the sky. You are a doctor, so last time, she was medical. She said, which arm I had to draw the blood? I said, any arm that you feel good. No, I'm asking, I said I feel good in both arms. No issue. So you don't identify. When you don't identify, you don't have that suffering. Your awareness itself, wide, stable, peaceful, even while thoughts and emotions move through you. Your mind says, no, syringe's needle is there. Nothing happens. You feel a little pinch. Obviously, you will feel it, but you are free from it. This is passing. I am not this. Peace is present even when not felt. Peace is present even when not felt. It doesn't happen with anxiety. It doesn't happen with the fear. Are you understand? Attention on the sky weakens the grip of every cloud. So, in the first two steps, what exactly we are educating the mind, we are saying to the mind, stop striving, start seeing, don't strive. Start seeing, have a perception. Stop striving for peace. Start seeing it. Amid anxiety, duality, and a conflict. My master used to give that story, I always remember, searching for glasses that are already on your face. I went through that, what you say, that cataract surgery, and I got the best lenses for my short-sightedness. Sometime when I go to take a shower, my mind, impulsive mind, this habitual mind. My habitual mind says, okay. And then I remember, no, I don't have glasses. I don't have. And then I have a big smile, mind, cool down. So it does not mean that these things will not repeat, but it will not create any problem. You simply, the moment I reach here and I recognize, oh, drop it. Peace is not a future goal, it is your current ground, hidden by mental noise. Your striving reinforces the belief that you are incomplete. When you strive against anxiety, duality, and a conflict, the mind reinforces you that you are complete, you are incomplete, you have to do something. And at that moment you simply shift. You shift the direction. How? By discerning in mind. You are free. You learn to replace I must fix myself to be peaceful with peace is my nature. Result, less burnout. That is what you experienced last week. It means we may not recognize, but gradually we will recognize we are living in a heightened state of awareness. Steady progress in work, relationship, and practice. Peace is something to perceive, not something to chase. We have to re-educate the mind again and again and again and again. Achievement cannot add to the self. Achievement can add to the external world, little more money, little more reputation, recognition. But peace comes from within. When we do the Mangala Charan, we are moving from personal, incidental anxiety to universal peace. I'm recognizing. I told you invocation, never forget that. When I say may there be happiness for all, so it means I cognition, that peace is already there. I am just trying to recognize it. Where is the peace? Where is the peace? So it is not an effort. That is why many masters says all meditation are effortless. But unless I become a higher level of a seeker, then only I feel that it is effortless. That is what we are doing now. So from personal anxiety or stress or a fear to universal peace and the joy, from personal storm to universal stillness. Storm is always personal, and over and above there is the sky. Nothing happens to the sky, whether you have a flood storm, windstorm, anything. The sky remains as a wave realizing it is the ocean. Your personal anxiety is a tiny pattern on the surface. The mind learns and educates. Peace is universal, anxiety is personal and conditioned. When identity expands from small me to awareness, conflict loses its absolute power. Identity, from the wave to the ocean. Wave is itself is a water. We don't see it as a water, then you have an anxiety. Again, discernment, awareness. You learn to see themselves as awareness in which body, thought, rules, and stories arise and subside. It is like on the surface of the water, you have moments of dust and the leaves and are there, but it does not disturb the water as such. The H2O remains as it is. That is the peace. And over it you have a moment of anxiety and duality and a fear and stress. I have to simply see that clearly. Anxiety is my story, peace is your substance. Stress, fear is my story, peace is the substance. Because fear has a starting point and a finishing point. That is why it is a story, it is a plot. But peace is my substance. It is like the screen where you run a horror movie, romantic movie, any movie. So you have an anxiety, you are struggling. So with anxiety, you are a struggler. With the sky, with the peace, you are a witness. You are living in a higher awareness. That is, this practice leaves you into that state. Practice leaves you into that state. I am more than my story, remember this. I had, like you and me, and with every human being, I had thousands of events, the moments of, I could say, anxiety or even depression or a fear or a duality and a conflict. But now I can witness they are just my story. I'm more than my story. I'm different from the story. I'm separate from the story. I see it clearly, and that clear perception does not allow the mind to get emotional over the past, anything. Everyone has their story. Everyone grows from the childhood, to the adulthood, and they all have their story. You have your story, I have my story. But now I don't get emotional. Peace is the depth. Anxiety, fear, they are the surface. They come and go. Are you willing just for today to live as the ocean, to live as the sky, and then let the waves be waves? My master, I remember, it just came to my mind. My master used to say, O mind, be at peace, this will also pass. Anyone who used to come and who used to cry, and he closed his eyes and glow is there on the face, and after the guy stops the story, he said, "O mind, be at peace, this will also pass." Repeat it 5 times, and then I will talk to you. This will also pass. Why? Mind is not you, it is just an instrument. Mind is not me, it is just an instrument. The observer and observed are totally separate. More you feel the separation, greater the calmness and peace you experience as an observer. As an observer. We will pick up from there in our next lesson.